What's up, y'all? It's Jay Shep back again. All right, so I'm back with a little bit more frequency now. If you haven't realized, have you ever had like a weapon that or a firearm that you just thought was just the shit? Like you thought it was dope, you thought there was nothing wrong, you just could imagine yourself on a range with it or in a defensive situation using it to save you and your family, and you just think that this is just the dopest thing you've seen since sliced bread, right? But then when you get it in hand, doesn't quite live up to the hype that you were expecting, right? I mean, that happens. It happens to most people in this 2A. At some point or another, they've been disappointed by a gun that they either got hyped up or hyped up themselves. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you about one of the guns that I've always looked at as just a dope gun. Thought it was always different looking. It always looked cool. But yeah, it's always been in like a lot of the futuristic type of movies. They'll try and insert it in there because it just looks like a futuristic type of gun. Like it is what it is. But anyway, as far as tried and true real use in the real world, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the Australians actually that use this particular gun. Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I believe it was Australia that uses these most often. But anyway, it has been battle proven by some people. You know, not everybody loves it, and that's kind of what we're getting into today. So some of the issues that I had. Oh, let me go ahead and show you the gun. In case you don't know what a Steyr AUG is, or a Steyr, I'm just called a Steyr AUG. Or AUG, but this is the one that I currently have, and it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Like it was bittersweet because I was happy that I had finally got something that I really just have wanted for a really long time and have just always planned on getting, but I finally got it in my hands. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed in some of the features on it. But like I said, that happens with other guns. There's been plenty of other guns that I have that I've changed, upgraded, modified, and I guess this is not any different. The only difference is it was a higher price tag, and I was expecting less to have to change or upgrade to get it to what I wanted it to be. But it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm going to go over some of the things that I've currently got going on with this Steyr AUG, and then I'm going to let you know what I plan to do with this Steyr AUG. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start out with, I guess, the optics, since it doesn't actually come on the rifle. I'm using an M21, a Microlite M21. As you can see, it's pretty sturdy. This thing is really sturdy. Now, one issue that I do have with it, though, is you'll see this one has a polarizer diffuser on it, basically. So, like, if I turn this, it'll get darker. If I turn it light, it'll be easier for me to see through. So you can see that. Let me see if I can show you. There, you see how it gets lighter and darker? But the real reason for that is if you look here, if I take this off, if you were in a battle situation, you can imagine how that might be a liability out there. So as reflective and as polarized as that lens is, I figured this was a must-have. So that's one thing that I've already done to upgrade this. But just like with the gun, this had a few shortcomings as well. If you don't know what a Microlite or an M21 is basically a sight that has a fiber optic cord inside of it. As you see inside of here, it's a fiber optic cord that soaks up all the ambient light that you're using. So all this light that you see in the background, all that, it's sucking it up. Pause. It's sucking it all up, and then once it finishes, while it's doing this thing, you know, if you happen to get into a low light situation, it's going to use that fiber optic cord with that stored up ambient light to help produce a brighter reticle, or what do they call it? Chevron. I think this is, yeah, it's a chevron. Chevron is a triangle with a point that's your bullseye. So this has a chevron on it. but it will help to brighten that chevron. Now, one of the issues that they also said about the Mepro M21 is the washout when you're going from a dark to a light background. So like if you're in a dark room shooting out of a dark hide or something like that, out into the brightness, the reticle is really hard to see. That is one of the downfalls or one of the shortcomings they say of the M21. Now, that's not to say that they have not came up with something to offset that issue, because this is a battle proven or a battle used optic. They use this a lot. I believe the Israel army, I think, out in Israel, they use the Mepro lights, the M21s. But like I said, it's got this gun has a few things that we're gonna fix. So the washout is one. The second thing that I want to work on with this is going to be this bum ass trigger. If you look at it close, you'll see that little circle right there. That should give you an idea how flimsy or how cheap this plastic on this trigger feels. All right. Anytime you see that little circle on it, it kind of gives you like a dollar store plastic vibe. That definitely is what this trigger gives me. You can hear it wiggling and all that. But anyway, we got something for that. One of the other things that I really had an issue with is right next to the trigger. It's this safety. You see how sharp the edges on this safety are? Like when I tell you this thing here, it could definitely, it can cause some abrasions or, you know, whatever if you're not careful with it. But it's just ugly like that. I just don't like it, right? Gotta push through. But that's something else that we're gonna try and fix. Now, as far as the aesthetic altogether, one thing that I noticed on this, if this is wet or at any point or moisturized at any point, this could probably become slippery. So that's one other thing that we're gonna try and work on with this. So altogether, so far we have got the optic that we're gonna be trying to upgrade. We've got the trigger we're gonna be trying to upgrade. We have got the safety we're gonna be trying to upgrade. And of course, like everyday shooter fashion, we're gonna remix this into a different colorway. So I got that. There's a couple of things that I would still like to fix that I just had. Oh, you know what? There's some internals that are going to be changed as well. I forgot about that. Oh man, how did I forget about that? So we got the trigger. We got I got some new trigger springs. I got a new, what is it called? The sear, I believe it's called. A new sear that goes inside the trigger pack. So all of these things, let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. All right, so as you see here, this is the trigger pack that comes inside of the AUG right here. It comes out the back, out the butt. You know what I mean? Pause. Dang. But yeah, now, if you will see right here, these are the red springs. Came straight from Steyr. They came straight from Steyr, so I'll let you know it's legit. But these springs right here are supposed to reduce the felt trigger pull by, I believe, at least 2 pounds. So that's a good thing. So got your trigger pack. It has been discovered that not only A1 AUGs, but some AUG. That right there is gonna go inside of the trigger pack. So got that. I got something that's going to help boost the light coming into this so that it makes the reticle or the chevron brighter. And then the paint job. So I mean, hey, what more can you ask for on that? Like I'm basically gonna be overhauling this. I think that you guys are probably gonna like what it looks like, but let's go ahead and get into it. No more waiting around and procrastinating. I got things to do, you know what I mean? I'm about to go out of town next week and I wanted to show this thing off. So let's go ahead and get it ready. Get ready for the meetup. y'all. So all the hard work is done. It's all come to a culmination. I'm ready to show y'all the end results. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Of course, it's not perfect. I'm not a certified professional in any means, by any means, but shit, I think I did pretty good for out of a garage, running back and forth between like 3 and 4, between 4 girls by myself this weekend. So hey, I think I did pretty good. But all right, so let me go ahead and stop wasting y'all's time. Let me go ahead and show you what it turned out like. Before I do that though, let me show you all the things that we went and changed, that we went and upgraded, right? So we had the polarizer lens that goes on to the Metro light. We also had the illuminator that goes into the reflex fiber optic cable to make the what do you call it? The chevron, makes the chevron brighter. So we added that. We also got rid of this trash, flimsy plastic polymer trigger that came with. Like, these things suck. All right, so I got rid of that. Replaced that with an aluminum trigger. Got rid of this trash safety. This thing is sharp enough to break the skin. That's how sharp this plastic and how ugly it looks. All right, changed that out. We also changed out the trigger springs. It's supposed to change these springs out here. It's supposed to lighten the trigger by at least like 2 pounds from what they said. We also changed this out. This is what houses all that stuff. All right, what else? Oh yeah, put some goon tape on it, because once you Cerakote, even before you Cerakote it, it's a little slippery, and this will give you a little bit more purchase, a little bit of a cushion, so it gives you a little bit of grip to it as well. Hey, you know, if they use it for hockey sticks, I can't see it going wrong with this. But without further ado, ta-da! Y'all see that? Look at that. That is dope. And I still haven't changed the charging handle because I went and I looked to get a replacement and they were out of stock. And plus, I just didn't know if I wanted to change it or not. So for right now, that's what that looks like. All right, we got our FAFO. You already know what that is. You got your heritage flag. You got your 2A statement, whatever you want to call it. All right. But as you mentioned, see the goon tape here? I got it wrapped around the front grip and the back grip. You'll see that safety right there and that new trigger. You can't tell me that those don't look dope on there, right? All right, so as far as the trigger, this is the worst part of the gun. Is that charging handle. But now, look at that. So, definitely improvement on the trigger for sure. Definitely improvement on the safety for sure. I think it's definitely improvement on the aesthetic for sure. Y'all let me know what you think. You think it's a hit or a miss? Oh, one other thing before I go. Also, the Peacekeeper shirts also available. You run into me, just holler at me. I got them things. I got them. You know what I'm saying? I got them for the low. If I see you up at the meetup, just say something. I got you. Just in time, I'm getting ready to go out of town this next week. I'm going to a meetup. It's called the Regular Meetup. If you're not familiar with it, go check it out. It's put on by a dude named RGG and a couple of his other cohorts. But it's always been a good time. This is probably my 4th time going out of the 5 years that they've had it. So I'm gonna have some footage for that. Lots of great people, lots of great gun tubers, lots of great guns. I'm gonna be there. Y'all meet me there or beat me there. Either way, we're gonna have a good time this weekend, and I'm gonna show you what to do. But as far as the gun is concerned, I think that we made some notable improvements on it. I definitely feel like this was a win for me. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you think I can still do to it. I know that I can still I need a light to put on this thing. I haven't quite decided on that yet. But y'all let me know. Oh, you want to see it with the mag in there? Just for the full disclosure. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's that dope right there. That's that good dope. All right, so. Okay, so that one I got it about 5 pounds. So, y'all let me know if that's a win compared to your AUG. Definitely a win for me.